we have come with the lecture. I'm sure all of you don't know the topic. The topic today is coronavirus after. Coronavirus after. What happens? And we need to share more about the situation that we are in now. Many countries have been eased with this pandemic of COVID-19, and there's this opening up of the economy, opening up of the country, opening up of the economy and countries. Borders will be eventually opening, the economies will be opening, tourism will be boosted again. But the question mark that Africa must ask is, are we ready to recover what has been destroyed? Are we ready to reclaim what has been destroyed or wasted? Because our economy in Africa, as informal as it is impossible that we will manage to patch up, we will manage to recover or rebuild what we have lost in the past 6 or 7 months. By this, it has to be a lesson that each and every African government or individual must learn, that after a pandemic or after such a disaster, there is need for new mindset, new thinking, and there must be a way that people should change the way they do things. Apart from putting masks, apart from putting some measures, there should be something to do in our minds. We face this tragedy now, and we have lost a great deal of our economy. We have lost a great deal of our people. What is it that we must do going forward? What is it that we should do? What is it that we must do going forward? Because this did not put a signal, this did not knock a door that it was coming. Now, for Africa, maybe other countries in Europe, Southern America, or Northern America, Asia, they might be prepared, or they could be prepared, or they can be prepared during this period. But Africa has never been, and we don't. The question is why? I was here a few times back where we were asking questions. Why are we always under emergency without preparedness? Why do we always face consequences when we know that we are living and we have years to plan? What is wrong with us? We have a problem because we have invested too much into corruption. Africa has invested so much in corruption. And what is happening now? The people who are rich are the dunderheads, the clappers of hands, the stupid, and those yes men and yes women to those that are on top. If Africa could stop, let me say, praising or applauding handiclappers, and look for those innovative minds, call them closer by those that are stakeholders, lawmakers, economists, governments, Africa could be different today. But the problem that Africa has is that governments, economists, and those that are stakeholders, they believe to be surrounded by handiclappers. That is the biggest problem, because if you are surrounded by a stupid person, you might be infused or given or pushed or pumped with stupidity. And that's why our governments have failed to be prepared for any emergencies that come, such as COVID-19. That is why our people, our economy has fallen way, destroyed way down. Why? Because the people that surrounds those that makes decisions, the people that surrounds those that are in government, are handiclappers and stupids. To them, what they want is money. If I can get money, if I can be rich, that's all. There's no foresight. There's no enlightenment. There's no thinking hard about the future. Yet, the people that thinks are those that are left, because they cannot clap hands for stupidity. They cannot clap hands for corruption. They cannot clap hands when a leader or a government is going astray. They will stand up and tell you that this I cannot clap hands for. Now, governments, presidents, leaders, ministers, whatever you call them, they like to be close to people that always praise them, always hand clap for them, and look at them in dignified way like they are gods. This is why Africa is lost. This is why Africa is going to cry more. Even though the economy is going to be opened, but still Africa is going to suffer because it will take us years to recover what we have lost. And now if we are to recover what we have lost, how are we going to build what we didn't have? Because by now we're supposed to be planning that we need to go above board. And you know, the problem that Africa has, but particularly those stakeholders, is this. They know that they are surrounded by stupid people. They know that they are surrounded by dunderheads. And when they want to come with something that is visionary, they come with a vision that no one, including them, will see or will come to meet it or to face it. That is why promises that were made by governments from independence in 1950s to date, nothing has come to light. Africa still struggle to have energy, despite having biggest, longest, and abundant rivers of water. We don't have energy. Someone told me, those that went to Europe, that the power that we produce all over Africa cannot be compared to the power that Germany alone produces. And that's one nation in Europe. Someone told me that the power that we use in the whole of Africa is the power that one state in the United States of America is using. Now, if the continent cannot produce power that is enough to the people, how are we going to develop? That is one biggest problem. And if I may tell you painfully today, many countries in Africa are on load shedding. And they announce in TVs that today there will be load shedding. Some other countries, they don't even announce. This is the problem of Africa. But let us go into governments and assess the leaders, ministers, and those that served in the government. They are the richest people. Go into their houses. They have got generators. They have got boreholes outside. They don't suffer for water. They don't suffer for power, because when power is out there, it's off. They'll just switch on automatically, generators. That is the problem of Africa. Now today I've come with a message to African governments. You will never say you are a developer. You will never say you are a politician. You will never say you are an innovator. You will never say you are a stakeholder. You will never say you are a president when you alone is the one that is feeling happy. And the people that you pretend to save are suffering and struggling. We talked about energy. Let's talk about water that is not bought, rainwater, and in most lakes of Malawi, of Africa, sorry. I'm coming from that country, so it's in my mouth all the time. All the people that come from Africa, there are rivers. There's River Nile, white and blue. There's Congo River. There are many rivers, Shire River. There are many rivers, Orange River. There are many rivers in Africa that are flowing water all the time into the oceans. But Africans, if they are dying of any other diseases, they are waterborne diseases. Because the water is not treated, and they don't find any means that they can drink clean water. But African governments, they have been there the past 50 years plus. Now we should talk about 60 or 70 in other countries. But check the leaders and governments that came in during this period of 7 decades or 5 decades. Nobody will die a poor person. All of them will die rich people. The question is, how could we be so greedy that we just want to be ourselves the rich people, and we don't want the people that we save and those that are paying us those billions, because that's a tax of citizens. Why don't we think about them? The Europeans thought that no, for us to be able to sustain, let us galvanize more on energy, water, and some essentialities that are required for humanity. Africa don't think about that. But that is the only continent that holds conferences more than Europe, more than America, more than China, Asia. They have development conferences all the time. COVID-19 has made more than 1,000 conferences in Africa, if not 1 million. Because each and every country and every week, they have to make a conference announcing about COVID-19. If you ask them, what are you gaining? What is that is happening? What impact are you doing, are making on the ground? They'll tell you that nothing. As long as we are public on the TV telling people what is happening. Some of the things that you find out, what are you talking about COVID? Stupid things. You don't need to tell people because people know already. You know what? All these conferences are as a result of generating income. Apart from corruption, there are allowances. Apart from allowances, there are meetings whereby when they say we need to provide food to our people, that food will never reach them. They will take it and sell it. During this COVID-19, many government officials have become rich because of COVID. And now when COVID is gone, many of them are crying. Why is it going? Because we are benefiting a lot. Now, Africa, if we are to stand up, let us remember, only a poor person is the one that thinks on what to do next. A person who is hungry will think, how and what should I do for me to eat tomorrow? That is what happens to poor people. And I want to say, Europe was like Africa before. America was like Africa before. China, it's just 1970, when it was just as good as we are, poor people. But there is a proverb in Africa that says, a hungry man is an angry man. Africa, we have not come to that attitude where we can be angry with the poverty that we have. In other words, some governments in Africa, they are happy seeing their people poor because they trample on them when they want votes. They make this poverty with their hands because they want, when time comes of voting, the poor should come and collect the leftovers so that they can vote for them. And when poor people say, no, you give us a plate of food, obviously the vote is for them. And they keep on running Africa. They keep on ruling Africa while they are plundering resources. Fellow Africans, we are now reopening our economy. When we are reopening, let's think the mistakes that we made before, we should correct them. The mistakes that we have made all over before, let's start all over and make them corrected. Why? Because if we keep on living the very same way we are living, we should expect. There was HIV, AIDS. Everybody said that's the deadliest disease. It has passed. Today is COVID-19. It's the deadliest. Now, we should always remember that it was there will always be deadliest diseases in the world. They will always be there. But then we should be prepared. How do we prepare ourselves? It's now to think again how we can reopen our economy. In reopening economy, we should think of various ways that can make our economy grow so quick and faster. Some of these are easing some of the rules and restrictions of visas when it comes to foreigners, when it comes to tourists, when it comes to those that want to come and invest in our continent. Ease the visas and ease some restrictions that are having, they don't hold water. Stupid rules that don't even work.